Hello, love bugs. Welcome back to Kera's Love Techniques. Of course, I am Coach Kera, and we are here with another dating topic. So, today we are talking about 15 reasons why you are not having sex in your relationship. Yeah, and I was actually motivated to do this particular video since many of you, particularly the males, have been emailing and messaging me about this one particular video. I think it's depriving your man with sex or something like that. So you guys have been really, like, for the past few months, I mean, you always have, but as of late, it's ridiculous. And I just figure I should just make this video to sum it up in a nutshell for both male and female, okay? Or however you consider yourself. So let's get started, shall we? So one of the reasons why you are not having sex in your relationship, well, one of those reasons because perhaps it's not a priority to the individual that you're with. And I know it may seem a bit whatever, but believe it or not, sex is probably at the very bottom of many people's list. All right, their priorities. And I know initially you may have thought that based on one sex appeal and their attraction, and perhaps they were even seductive, gave off those sort of vibes, and you just automatically assume that this person would be just like really into having sexy time. When reality kicks in, that's clearly not the case. It's really not something that they would just want to do on a very regular basis, such as like weekly. Okay? Yeah, that's one reason. The second reason could be there is not a high level of sexual attraction for you. Though you may have other amazing qualities and just may be an overall awesome human being, but as far as just being sexually attractive to you, it's not so much. Okay, and because of that, there's a hindrance and apprehension there. Yeah, which ultimately leads to other issues in a relationship. Number 3, probably your person may prefer the same sex, and you'll know this if it's always like a challenge for them to even just see you as just someone who is an attractive person, just wanting to have intimacy with them and engage with them and just be present and have all that quality time with each other. You'll know that based on their behavior for the most part. There's always like get away, like don't touch. Yes, and it may not have always been that way. It could have just been something that just, it was like, whoa, hey, an epiphany. Suddenly one day I just prefer to be with the same sex. Therefore, I'm no longer attracted to you. Unfortunately, so yeah. Number 4, having routine, mundane sex, or just overall bad sex. It's never good, or it's too quick, or it's lacking, or it's too much of something. It's just not, it can never suffice. Okay? And how do you tell someone that? Well, the most you could probably do, and I'll give you a little advice, the most you can probably do in this situation is just let them know what you need. Show them, yes, you have to give a little lesson, in the sweetest manner possible without ridiculing and sounding condescending, whatever. But just show them what it is that you need. And if you're still not getting that, well, then they just can't give it. And that's that. Yeah. Another reason, which is number 5, is that perhaps there have been some sort of third party. And a lot of times when there is another entity involved, it takes away the desire to be with your person just with you two, because you're thinking about, am I kissing you? Am I kissing you with STD? You have herpes in the mouth or something like that. There's always some sort of other thoughts going through their head, so they just can't see you as this pure and angelic form as they once did. because of that other entity that's, if not always, is there. There's always someone there in the background. So it kind of just like lessens the desire to give themselves to you wholly in the way that they want to. Perhaps. Number 6, the connection phase. And this happens all the time in relationships, especially if you've been involved with your person for quite some time. You pull away from each other, you don't know how to keep things together, and then everything begins to diminish. Communication, intimacy, everything is lacking. And so it's just begin to fade, and sex is no longer at the top of the list. And it's just maybe once or twice a year. Oh, that's so bad to even say that. And hopefully it isn't, because if it's down to the bare minimum, well then someone at some point will have to make an executive decision of some sort. Okay? Yeah. Perhaps your person has low sex drive, and it doesn't have to do anything with age. It could just be due to some sort of illness they may have, or hormones, whatever bodily issues that they may be having. They may not just be able to get their levels up to where they need to be to have a desire to even want to perform with you. And it could be a difficult topic to talk about, so they just may not say anything, or just make excuses, or always seem too busy, or something like that. But in that case, you should be very understanding, because if it's something that one cannot really control, I mean, there are things that you can do to enhance. But if it's out of someone's control, then that's when the partner needs to be a little bit more understanding, and to just try other things. There are many other things that you can do to create a certain level of intimacy. Yeah? All right. Another particular reason could be high stress. When one of you or both of you are continuously stressed out, I don't know if it's work, family, whatever the concern may be, it diminishes the desire to want to be intimate with someone, because you're so drained by the end of the day from whatever has transpired. So all you want to do is just rest. You want to sleep. And that's it. So I guess, just find a way to become stress less. And then incorporate days and times for lovemaking. Yeah? That's the alternative. That's the solution, is to find a way to de-stress. As simple as that. As hard as it sounds, but it's actually quite simple once you actually give it a try. You have to be proactive. Yeah. Another reason could be distrust. When you stop trusting someone, and that trust has, again, diminished over some time, everything else goes down along with it. Now, granted, the love may still be there, but just the idea of, I can't trust you, so how can I lay down and give my best and my all to someone who has lied to me, manipulated, whatever the case may be, and I no longer trust him? It's just like sleeping with a thief. It just doesn't feel right, okay? And the other person just has to kind of understand it. It's just hard for me to give to you freely, willingly, if I can't trust you. You understand? Yeah. Another reason could be, and we're going to get a little deeper now, depression. When someone is depression, and there are different stages or levels to depression, when it gets to a certain level, you really stop having the desire to do anything that heightens your dopamine, gives you excitement. Everything is low, okay? You may not want to eat, or you may want to eat too much, sleep less, but for whatever reason, and you have to look more into this, but depression can have major effects on one's sex life. It's quite impacting, okay? It has a lot to do with your hormones and the imbalances and all of those sorts of things that go hand in hand. But if your person isn't being as excited or happy about your relationship, they are always dismal and melancholy, well, something's going on. And it's not that they don't want to give to you, it's just in that moment they can't because of whatever issues that they're dealing with internally that are far more serious than being sexually active. Okay? Yeah. Another reason, a more serious reason, could be alcohol and substance abuse. Someone may not want to be intimate with someone who is drunken all the time or high to a certain level to where it just turns them off. Or perhaps the other way around, that they're always intoxicated or under the influence to where they can't perform, and it's a disadvantage for the other partner. You understand? So it has a major impact on your sexual life. And the resolution for that, well, that just goes without saying. Next, insecurities. And insecurities in the sense of you or your partner having like maybe body image issues. Your esteem is not where it once was. You don't feel sexy. You don't feel comfortable disrobing or, being naked and having your person see you. They may see you in a different light. They may see you as a beautiful being and accept you how you are, regardless of what your body type is. But you yourself may have issues with that. And because of that, it just makes you not want to engage sexually. Okay? That could be another major issue of why you are not having sex in your relationship. Another could be trauma issues like PTSD, past experiences. Some people have triggers. If you were molested or raped or had some sort of issues like that long ago, something else could come along and trigger you, and it just shuts you off from that. And your person may not understand, unless of course you explain that, but they may not understand what's going on if you've been triggered and it's caused you to shut down, to go into that shell. And what will take you to come out of that, you may not know. No one may not know. But yeah, a high level of trauma could cause a person to not want to be intimate. All right. Another could be using sex as a weapon. Many people do this. It's a form of punishment, which I really feel is psychological abuse. If you do it maybe once in a while, okay, whatever. But if this is consistently done, like over and over again, that, my love, is considered abuse. Okay? It's mind control. And it gives off rejection and dismissive behavior, like no, you do this and you're gonna do it my way. So in this case, instead of being more concerned about trying to lie down with your person, you should probably be more concerned about the mindset of the person that you are lying next to. What type of person is it that is causing this sort of abusive behavior? Okay? And a bigger question is why that you are accepting it. Oh no, I'm not accepting it. I have a problem with it. Then why do you remain? Okay? If this individual isn't changing and you're not doing anything differently to get out of the situation, well then, yeah. Okay, guys, and lastly, and this is probably the biggest one, is if you or your partner have an obsession with sex, a nymphomaniac with porn, all sorts of things, prostitutes, looking at magazines, whatever, and it's a lot. All right, so you or your person, they need it like on a constant basis 3 or 4 times a day, and if they're not engaging with you, they're engaging in some other way. It's if they're in the bathroom, they're on their phone, whatever. It's a lot. Okay, and it's a lot for you to control and for themselves to control. And to be honest with you, medically and clinically speaking, there's very little that can be done about this. It's actually, not to get all religious or whatever, that's kind of like, that's a bit demonic. And your person may need to be exorcised. Seriously. So if you are feeling pressure all the time to engage and indulge in this, and it still isn't satisfying, nothing suffices from this person, then more than likely there is a great deal of obsession here. And yeah, it can remain the same, but it can also worsen. Okay? Yeah. All right, guys. So I thought I would share that with you all. If you have a more unique sort of situation and you have more questions that need to be answered regarding just this whole intimacy and lack of sex and affection, whatever issues or concerns you have, my information will be linked down below if you like to down below if you would like to schedule a consultation with me, and we can address the matter full on in a more in-depth way. Okay, but I thank you all so much for joining me today. That is all for now, my loves. Until next time.